Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. The beginning of the meeting, I'm going to read the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived by those present, and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Secretary, you want to take attendance?
Sure. Helen Rigo,
Here.
Natalie Mello, Sergeant Dolan,
Here.
Officer Jose Barboza,
Present.
and Bob Tavares.
Yeah.
And you're saying Natalie's going to be here later on? She's running late?
She's on her way.
All right, we start the meeting with citizen input. Anybody here have anything they need to say? That's good.
I'd like to say something. I live on Pine Street on the corner of Pine Grove and Winter. And there's a sign on the side of the street where they just took down a tree. And it's no parking from the sign to the corner. And there tends to be a lot of people parking there all the time.
So the pole and sign are gone?
Well, the pole's there,
But
there
no-
was a huge tree and they cut down the tree. But I don't know how many feet it is from the corner, but
So the
you can
sign,
get like 2 cars there.
all right, so the sign's missing, or you're saying?
No, the sign is still there, I'm just stating that people are parking there
Oh, okay,
illegally.
okay.
It's like every day.
And is it on Pine or is it out in Grove?
It's on Pine, more closer to Winter,
Okay,
the corner of Winter.
very good.
All right, we've all got the revised minutes from the last meeting. Is there a motion to approve these minutes?
Motion made. Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the last meeting's minutes is approved. Say that 5 times fast. Okay, we're gonna start with the curb cuts. First one is Celia Mara Ramus, 749 Wood Street.
Not here.
Okay, I'll just read from the report here. The existing driveway is 19 feet. The proposed driveway access is 19 feet. The existing to be replaced is 0 feet, so the total driveway access is 38 feet. It's been through engineering, and they have no objections to this request. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Anyone
Second.
opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Man, I'm disorganized today. Okay, William Kitchen, 92 Hanover Street, over here. Existing driveway 17 feet 6 inches, proposed driveway access 16 feet. Existing to be replaced, 0, total driveway access 33 feet 6 inches. Engineering has no objections to this request either.
Motion to approve.
Seconded.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that motion will also carry. Ray Fonseca, 29 Lucille Lane in Fall River.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah, he's here.
Existing driveway is 0. Proposed driveway access 24. Existing to be replaced 0. Total driveway access is 24. No objections from engineering. I'm taking it this is a house that never had a driveway.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that motion carries as well. Cecilia Botello, 1440 Slade Street, over here. Existing driveway is 19 feet 4 inches. The proposed driveway access is 16 feet. The total driveway access afterward would be 35 feet 4 inches. And engineering says there are no physical restrictions to this request. The proposed work improves access to the property and would eliminate 1 on-street parking space.
Motion to approve.
Anyone second?
I have questions. If I got a letter saying that would be moved, and it's approved, the driveway, Lucy.
Okay, what's gonna happen is here, through traffic board, it's just going through as being approved. Now it has to go in front of the ordinance. So all the abutters are going to be receiving a letter as well as yourself. If no one opposes it and there's no problem, it gets passed there, then you can go ahead and do whatever you need to do, okay? But you'll get a letter in the mail, okay?
Thank you.
All right, 1440 Slade Street, total driveway access 35 feet 4 inches. There was a motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that motion also carries. Bruno Cordero, 175 Guild Street in Fall River.
Yes, sir.
Here. Okay, existing driveway of 16 feet, proposed driveway access of 21 feet, existing to be replaced is 37 feet. Engineering has no objections to this request either.
Motion approved.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that motion also carries. And that's it for curb cut requests. Now it's for the handicap spaces. Linda Cody, 2669 South Main Street.
On the back.
The last possible house in Fall River, before you get to Tiverton. I went by there. She's requesting that the, if she's approved, she's requesting that the spot be put on State Avenue, just west of the no parking here, the corner sign. She doesn't have any off-street parking. I didn't see any issue at all with being able to put it there on State Avenue.
Motion approved.
Seconded.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that spot's gonna be approved. Now Laura's gonna give you her spiel before I give you my spiel.
Basically, all the handicap applications are heard here at the traffic board meeting. They're approved. All the ones that are approved, what'll happen is sometime next week, you're gonna see some maintenance guys go and do the measurements. So basically what they're doing is they try to measure it as close as possible to where you exit and enter your home. Once those measurements are all done, they go down to city council. It's heard in a full council, referred to ordinance, and then it's an emergency preamp, so it gets approved right after that, after a next city council meeting. We're gonna try to do our best to get all of that down there so that the signs can go up before really winter gets here, because once we have snowstorms, it's kind of hard to put up poles. So we're gonna try to get these down there as soon as possible, okay?
Okay, now it's my turn. When anybody here that gets a handicap spot approved, that spot isn't your personal handicap spot. If somebody happens to be visiting one of your neighbors and they have a handicap placard, they can park in that spot as well. So the spot's not actually assigned to you. There's somebody here I know has an application, and in their request, they mentioned that they're near a busy restaurant. If somebody that goes to that restaurant happens to have a handicap placard and parks in that spot, that's within the law. They're not breaking the law by doing that, okay?
Number 2.
All right, so that one's done.
And there is no 62 Winter Street, because I went looking for this.
Ah, see, you didn't find it, I did, Helen. 62 Winter Street.
It's in the back.
There is no 62.
Anybody here from 62 Winter Street? See, it is a back house, maybe they couldn't find their way back out once they were there. So we'll table this one.
Table,
Oh, I'm sorry, is there a motion to table this one?
able to table.
Second.
I went looking for that 62, I couldn't find it.
It is, it's way in the back. See, it's my police skills. All right, Jose Correa, 21 to 23 Coral Street, okay, in the back over there. I remember when that was a vacant, abandoned house. That's right on the side of Rite Aid, but on Coral Street, and there is absolutely no off-street parking there, but there is room. So I saw no issues at all with the application.
Motion approved.
Seconded.
Anyone opposed to approving it? Okay, that motion carries.
He was right next to
Behind the
Rite Aid
fire
parking
station.
lot.
Yeah, he's like behind the
House.
fire station on Coral Street.
Well, here's his, there's the parking lot for the Rite Aid, and here's his house.
So we'll go like
We'll go like a little further up, if there's a curb cut.
No, I know there's room there. That's not even the regular access to Rite Aid, that's the back of it. Okay, that passes. Dawn Halpern, 621 Third Street, upper right corner there. Same thing, went by there, there's no off-street parking available, so I saw no issue with approving it.
Yeah. Motion to approve. Is he here?
Second.
Yeah, on top.
Is there any, all right.
We need a second.
He seconded it.
Bob?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that carries. Tony Soulier, 935 Pine
Yeah.
Street, okay? Same thing there, I didn't see any off-street parking. No issues with approving it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that also carries. I think this desk is getting smaller. Uh, 1033 Bedford Street, Antonia Anctil, okay? Oh, actually, you're the reason why I noticed your application, you mentioned the restaurant right there.
Yep.
If someone's going to that restaurant and they have a handicap placard, there's nothing to stop them from parking in that particular
Okay.
handicap spot. It's rare, it doesn't happen very often, but as a police department, we get a lot of calls from people saying, hey, so-and-so's in my parking spot, but it's actually technically not yours.
Okay.
But I didn't, I see no issue with approving her handicap spot.
If I may, is that fire hydrant that car blocking the fire hydrant?
Does what?
There's a fire hydrant in front there.
No, we can fit two, we actually fit two cars there, and there's still at least this much space from the second car to the fire hydrant.
Motion
We'll
to,
do the 10 feet.
Yeah,
motion to approve.
second.
Anyone
It's tight.
opposed?
We sit on each other's bunkers, but we fit two there.
New York. Okay, motion carries. Yvette Johnson, 512 Pine Street, over here. Same thing, no off-street parking there. I saw no issues with it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that also carries.
Go, sir.
Christine Harper, 254 Tecumseh Street, over here, Christine.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, you?
Okay, thank you.
Of course, this was going too smoothly because I did run into a speed bump with yours.
Okay,
254 Tecumseh Street is, and it's listed in the tax records as a single-family house.
correct.
But yet, your application says you're a tenant in that
I
house.
am, there's a full, finished basement. My parents have upstairs. I live with my son downstairs. That's why, I pay rent with my parents. After I got into a motor vehicle accident, I can't climb up and down the stairs and I can't fully take care of myself. I had broken my neck, my back, my hip, my sacrum, my pelvis, my groin, and fractured mostly all the bones in my body, so they had to take care of me.
I don't question that, I just question the fact that it's a single-family house and there is a driveway to the house.
My mom is also handicapped, and she uses that driveway where my father and her park, and for them to go in and out. And if I park in a driveway, for me to go in and out, for us to both access the driveway, which is why they wrote the letter. I would have to constantly go in and out of the house every time they want to leave, and that's a lot of me climbing up and down the stairs in the basement to go in and out, access to move the car. I'd have to move the car every time they went out, when my father's in and out. a
You can't
lot.
fit two cars side by side in that driveway?
No, you cannot fit two cars side by side in that driveway. It just fits one car straight. Another car has to go in front and behind. It's one-on-one, they go two cars.
Well, like I said, the issue that this is listed as a single-family house, even as far as the tax assessor's office is concerned. And we haven't approved we haven't approved handicap parking in front of a single-family house with a driveway before, or at least
No.
while I've been here.
Yeah.
Can I make a motion to table it so that we can take a look again by it?
I don't mind.
That's the opinion.
Any other
I'm not
motions?
approving it.
Because it's a single-family home, I think we should just deny it.
I think
at
until
this
it's listed as a,
Until it's listed as a two-family or whatever.
Not two family, it's one.
I know, but it's listed as a single family.
It's listed as a single family.
Make a motion to
So
deny
if
that.
we do for one, we have to do for all. So,
I make a motion to deny. Up to you people.
hate to do it, but
anyone seconding that motion to deny?
I'll second that motion.
Anyone opposed to denying it?
I think I'd like to table it, to look further into it.
Now, what's the protocol if they're denied? Aren't they able to reapply?
Yes, after 3 months, they can reapply, and then if anything has changed or anything like that, we can look into it. If we table it, I need to know what we're tabling it for. Is it to take a look at the house, the parking, the street?
Well, we've had, the motion was to deny and it was seconded.
On the street.
Oh, it was seconded already?
The motion to deny has been seconded, yes.
Oh. It takes precedence. Right?
Yes. I mean, we could just note that you, if you wanted to table it
That's fine.
or not deny it.
it's just what you do for one, you gotta do for all.
All right, Ms. Harper, your request is being denied.
Okay, understandable. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, you're
Thank you.
welcome. Paul Chassie, 56 Hurst Street.
Motion to table. I know Paul is not here.
Motion to table?
Okay.
He was just, wasn't he just sitting there?
I didn't see it.
No?
Okay, that's tabled. I'm going to skip ahead to the rescinded handicap spaces, and then we can take the Commonwealth Avenue. Miscellaneous request from the Traffic Department to have the following handicap spaces rescinded due to individuals no longer utilizing the space because they have either moved, no longer drive, or have passed away. Harrison Street, Hall Street, Davis Street, Hambley Street, Hamlet Street, and Cherry Street.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Anyone opposed to taking those signs down? Okay, that motion carries as well. Now, Commonwealth Avenue marijuana dispensary.
Don't blame you.
You're like home, right?
Yeah, we're gonna feel like part of the committee.
I was gonna have you read some of this for me. Save us some time. Okay, how has the street, tell me it's improved a little bit.
No.
Nothing's improved at all? How's the police, have the police been up there at all?
We did have, there was a great, after the meeting, Officer Barboza and a few other officers showed up, and they showed up on Saturday and Sunday, and it made a huge difference that day. There's no detail or anything like that happening there. It's, I guess, the worst on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And there's still, same thing's happening, and there's still 18-wheelers going down the street. No one's paying attention to the signs at the end of the street. We want to thank you for that as well.
How about the water department
Water truck
trucks?
stops.
All
Thank
done?
you. Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
there's
Yeah,
progress.
Paul Furlan came and see me, and he said that the right company was notified, and that issue should, should be. So when I go back, I'm going to let him know that it has been clarified,
Okay.
and there's no
Thank you
one.
very much.
Now, the 18-wheelers, you're saying, what are they? What are they doing?
They're delivery trucks.
For the marijuana
And
dispensary?
some of them are customers.
And man refuses to come?
Okay, so we can have some
Right
kind
here.
of order. I think that we should
We should
introduce
introduce
himself, where he's from.
Is he owner?
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is, because we don't want to spend another half an hour talking about the same thing that we know.
Right, it is.
So we're gonna, the gentleman that is from Northeastern is here. I'd like for you to introduce yourself. You can come sit here.
Sure.
Introduce yourself, talk a little bit about the facility, what you guys are trying to do. Once that's done, then you can hear some of the issues that the residents are still having, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So as I've met some of you board members, thank you for your time this evening. My name's Jerry. I am the Director of Security Operations for Northeast Alternatives. First, I just want to apologize to everyone. I was unable to attend last month's meeting. Certainly no disrespect to anyone, excuse me, I also have a cold. Certainly no disrespect to anyone that lives on Commerce Drive. So I just wanted to touch upon that quickly. So, yeah, you know, where are we at? I can tell you that we've installed this week 14 arborvitaes in an attempt to just maintain the aesthetics of the property and to block off the rear of the building for the neighbors. I know that was a topic of concern, even though it's not necessarily pertinent to traffic. Laura and I have been in communication yesterday. I brought up the idea to post no parking sign to sign, a portion of Commerce Drive in front of the white PVC picket fence. There was some question as to signage that we had posted there, which has since been removed. We did have signs made up in an attempt to instruct customers not to park on Commerce Drive. Ironically, though, it is a public way. Legally, they had...
Commonwealth Ave.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Commonwealth Ave. Unfortunately, there was no need to really post it because if it's not properly ordinanced out throughout the council,
Correct.
it's
So-
legal to park there.
Right,
so.
and like I explained, if it doesn't go through ordinance, we can't go in tag. So now, if that is something that the traffic board approves, it'll go through ordinance, it'll be an ordinance, and officers can tag, as well as parking control officers, because it's an ordinance.
Okay. So that was my first initial suggestion to try to help some of the issues that the community around us is facing, reporting back to you. I'm more than welcome to try to touch upon any questions anyone on the board may have, or any of the residents.
Don't you think, I think that you should have security of your own.
We do.
Do.
We do.
You can't be
We
doing a
have-
good job if people keep complaining. I mean,
Complain
they
about-
keep using their property, their street. I mean, they have to live there
Certainly.
Okay, it's a
24
public-
hours, you know?
Certainly.
So I really think that you need good security around the clock.
Certainly do.
If I may, what's being done about the cultivating at night, the loud music and smoking pot outside when it's closed?
So, this was a topic of conversation when I was met with some of the residents after last month's meeting. Northeast Alternatives' position is very clear to all of our employees. Signed waivers and employee handbooks, and it's well documented, annually reviewed. No employee, under no circumstances, is allowed to smoke or consume any marijuana product on our property. That would actually jeopardize our licenses. So it's something that's prominent for the company itself. I have no report of this happening on the property as the Director of Security, nor am I aware of the police department being notified of this happening. So as far as sharing with you our official stance as to that not being authorized, I can't really touch upon a specific incident that may or may not have occurred.
And also-
Second part of that question, I'm sorry?
No, that was what in all due respect, I don't think all these people come here every month and make this up.
Sure, I understandable. I mean, all I can say is that if this is occurring, I'm not aware of it. I can assure you the executive board is not aware of it. And from what I believe, I don't believe the Florida Police Department is aware of it either. We do have a working communication, and there'd be matters to address that. So if that is something that the community is experiencing, we'll have to properly document it, and I can assure the board and the residents most definitely will be addressed.
Now,
I would appreciate that.
Most
Do
definitely.
you have employees that work during the night? Is there a shift during the night?
No, security only during the evening.
So there is no employees working during the night?
We do have employees working during the night, and the
Oh, okay.
cultivation part,
Okay.
in reference to that, routinely, there's not a scheduled cultivation, but they do start very early in the morning, 4, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Because one of the
And sometimes they're up
complaints,
until midnight or so.
one of the complaints was loud music. I mean, you know, if they're going in there at 4 o'clock in the morning
Certainly.
and it's nice and quiet, and if the music is a little loud, it can be heard. So I know that was one of the complaints.
So-
Music hasn't been happening lately.
Okay.
Now it's just the loud humming of the new ventilation systems that they put in.
So the addition.
It's like a constant humming all day long.
So,
You can't open our
I don't want to
windows.
lose focus of the fact, though, that this is the traffic board.
Right.
yeah. In response to, I can touch upon the loud music if you'd like, able to, or we can off subject.
Well, they're saying it
somebody
hasn't been an
mentioned
issue.
it, so let's
Yeah.
It
go there
hasn't been,
quickly.
it
In
hasn't,
regards to the
Different
loud
from
music,
stopped.
I requested my staff to monitor that and report to me any findings, as some of the neighbors had shared that they were hearing loud music. So we have no speaker system on the property that's broadcasting outside, most definitely not in any manner that would disturb the community. My staff were able to determine, however, up directly across William S. Kenning Boulevard, I believe it's actually Emon Street, and the corner piece, I think I shared some of the detail officers that were there. They are known to party, and that music is most definitely coming from them. You know, outside.
No, it's not. No.
This is
She
what's
lives
been
directly
reported.
behind your place and she hears it. That's a bunch of baloney.
I can only show what's being reported, you know. I did look into it, I can assure you, and I was told every weekend they're having parties out there.
No, they're
Jared,
not.
I asked you before this meeting started if you have 10 minutes after the meeting, right? So those are some of the things I want to bring to your attention because there is a whole slew of things happening that you guys
I'm not aware of.
are either not aware of or you just totally ignore. You're not gonna sit here and look me in the eye and tell me that I never told you that you had employees smoking weed outside your door.
Certainly, you mentioned.
Do you remember
before.
that?
Oh, absolutely.
And don't tell this board here that you never heard about it.
You have, no one can ever tell me when, where, who.
If I call a cop and say someone's smoking pot in front of my street, you know what they're gonna tell me? It's legal.
It'll at least be on the dispatch log, though, for us to formally address.
Do you, excuse me, as representatives of the police department, do you want us to call you every 5 minutes so something gets on the log?
Well, we surely won't tell you not to call us.
Okay.
You can call us, your calls are stacked in our system, and I see that sometimes, I've got a computer on my desk, but they're prioritized, as you know. I see a lot of calls for illegally parked cars and such, and they wait until that sector car is clear. Sometimes that car is so busy, they wait for over an hour, and the cars are gone by the time our cruisers get there. But it's logged in. I mean, we've got people assigned to answer phone calls. So yes, I mean, when there's something illegal happening, call the police department.
Call the business number?
Yeah, the 68511.
The-
Regular
yeah,
number.
the
I
main
would definitely
number.
call. Even, you know, they're busy, but you know what, it's logged in.
Well, and the thing is that you can always run a report of how many calls were called in, you know. Okay, so do you want to stick to traffic issues?
I think we're, like, you know, this is the 4th month or so these people come in. We can't lose focus of the fact that this is the traffic board. I understand that we're police officers, so sometimes people want to tell us all the problems, which is fine. But the traffic board we're doing what we can to handle the traffic issues here.
Now, you're saying the tractor trailers are dropping off. Now, are they going down the dead end, turning
They
around?
pass the entryway.
Can we address that?
Yeah, so post our conversation of last month's meeting, I contacted some staff in our cultivation department, kind of just to inquire what type of deliveries are coming on the property. So, first to get started, we do have it set up with our vendors, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, are the only days that we want deliveries. We don't want deliveries coming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, as naturally that's a busier consumer day, okay, and it chokes up the parking lot. So that's one measure that we do have in place, trying to be wary of the vehicles and vendors. We don't have scheduled or routine scheduled 18-wheelers entering the property. I've contacted our suppliers in the kitchen and cultivation. Cisco, I believe, right? Cisco is one of the 18-wheelers we routinely see down there.
Cisco's one.
Cisco's not delivering to us. It's not our vendor. We do have Cintas and several other companies and vendors, and a Quick Clean company that comes Mondays and Tuesdays. They are all Ford Freightliner vans. So these
No, they're not.
18-wheeler.
Jared,
What are
just
they?
the other day, there was an 18-wheeler parked along the white fence, where one of your guys, exactly, where one of your guys, you guys just got a brand new, whatever those pallet things are. Forklift, trying to get all the stuff out of the truck. It wasn't able to be done. So your guy had that guy do, I don't know how many turns just to get that damn thing out of the road.
So,
So don't lie there.
I'm just telling you what I know, I'm not
Okay,
lying,
come
I'm not here to lie. Trust me, I'm not
All
here to
right,
lie.
we need
It's
to
important.
handle this in a professional manner,
Um,
okay?
I did inquire about the 18-wheelers, from what was told to me, because I had a concern about it, and I did a little, actually, I kind of dug into a little bit more as far as to reviewing the engineered plans and ensuring that we are still fully capable of receiving an 18-wheeler through the rear of our building, as all traffics enter and exit through that spot. So there is no means to why 18-wheelers should be actually going down Commerce Drive. To try to, one moment please, to try to support this, okay, I did ask our productions officer to contact all our vendors, this was after our conversation from last month's meeting, and formally notify them to utilize, if this is occurring, to formally notify them to utilize our entrance rear of the building and exit, just in case this is happening. If someone can help me with the actual vendor that we're seeing there, I can assure you I will, at minimum, look into it.
I got a question.
I will definitely look into it.
Just last week, Northeast Alternatives employees were unloading a truck behind my house out of an 18-wheeler on whatever street that is back there, which is in Tivoli, next to Quinnick Fasteners. Unloading a truck full of freight and putting it in that Dodge pickup that's been parked on that property for over a year to get it over there, not backing up to the so-called loading dock that we just spoke about. And just the other day, I believe it was R&L carriers, had to park on Route 81 and pallet jack the material down to your door. Down my sidewalk, and across the street, with a pallet jack.
I have a question for you. Are you on the premises during the day?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you don't see all this?
I am,
Your employees are not allowed to smoke.
correct.
So as soon as the people buy it, they go outside that door, they're allowed to,
No,
no?
absolutely.
Then how come these
Helen,
houses
Helen,
all
we-
smell smoke?
Helen,
We have a gentleman there that could lose his job because his car and his smells
that's from
the
of
building.
marijuana.
That smell that I was talking about there is from when they either do their air dump or their filters aren't clean or whatever. That's from the plant, from the inside of their facility.
And
George,
that's a
man.
planning zone issue, because the planning, they're deemed to be retail and they're cultivating in that building.
Is that the exhaust fan?
We do have
I don't know
cultivation licenses.
how I smell it. All I know is April of 2018, we were told that we wouldn't smell anything. So I don't know if it's an air dump they're doing, or maybe they need to change their filters. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, so I don't know their process, but the smell is so strong at times. It's in my truck after sitting overnight with my windows up. Or if I have my windows open during the day,
But we can't
I-
open our windows.
I
It's
know, I
everybody.
lay
It's
my
my
head
car
on my
smells
pillow
like
on my couch. And
Okay.
all I can smell is the plant. I don't smell the smoke, I smell the plant.
All right, 18-wheelers going down
Yeah.
the street, what else?
So you're
Just the
gonna
traffic in
contact,
general, you
okay,
guys
hold
saw
on.
it that week.
So you're gonna contact all the vendors and make sure
I already
that, okay. Either they have to bring in smaller vehicles that can go into the parking lot and not into the.
They've been put on formal notice
Okay.
to not go down Commerce.
Okay, very good.
Very black and white. Our parking lot's engineered specifically with that in mind for fire apparatus as well as deliveries. There's no need for it.
Now, inside your parking lot, when vehicles exit, one of the complaints was a lot of vehicles will go down to the cul-de-sac. I was there quite a few months ago, and I did see vehicles go down the cul-de-sac, turn around and go back out. Do you have arrows letting them know that they can only take a left and there's no right turn in your property at all?
So there's do not enter signs to direct customers to utilize the proper entrance and exit. Upon exiting the parking lot, no, we don't have anything directing them. That may be something we could do though, as a whole, for a yellow and black left arrow, adjacent to the exit that we utilize. Maybe that will help direct more
We can
customers
put
out.
a sign across the street. Officer Barboza, you've been there and I
Oh, like the
myself.
left-hand turn
Yeah.
only sign.
We can do the international, you know, no right turn, left turn only.
That would probably
We're
help.
gonna put that up as well, okay?
I think that in conjunction, if we can get an ordinance to, you know, post some no parking, start sending a message more that, hey, this is private, this is a
But
community.
they won't park next to the fence, they'll park down the street,
In front of
I
our
understand that,
in front
yeah.
of our houses, which is totally defeating the purpose.
And, hey,
That is 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, though, because we can't do no parking in front of your house, because then you can't park in front of your house either.
Ideally, it would be, ideally, if their entrance wasn't on Commonwealth Ave, that would ideally resolve a lot of issues.
Right, I mean, I was just asking that to the sergeant, but 81 is the state, so good luck. You know, because I was thinking if you could get another entrance off of
Help
the
divert,
highway.
yes.
So that way, it would alleviate that backup that you get and they can go in there. Have you
Or-
tried asking the state to
That's
Or
not-
having
it's-
us
it's-
not have to sit in traffic to get down our street, to get to our house.
That wouldn't be a solution.
Because I have to wait 20 minutes to get down the street to my house, off the exit. I shouldn't have to
We
wait to
can't
pull
get
down
out.
the street.
Even with a detail?
When you say
There's no
state,
detail. There's no detail.
There's no detail.
is that representative could help them out with that?
I don't know, I know that portion belongs, that portion where they're at belongs to the state. It ends just before Napoleon. So to widen that, because my thing is it narrows. So when you're coming off, it's nice and wide, but then you've got that one lane. So you're right, if I wanted to go to Tiverton, I'd have to sit there and wait. To widen that up, take out that medium, that grass and widen it, it would have to be the state to approve that. So then you can continue with the 2 lanes. So you could get a right lane for your facility, and then that left lane would just people that want to go to Napoleon, straight ahead or whatever.
On the property, go onto Commonwealth Ave, put a driveway on his property, so the Commonwealth Ave is freed up for the people that live there.
Tedeschi's has an exit.
Northeast Alternatives has their own entrance, instead of using Commonwealth Ave.
Tedeschi's
believe
has
this-
an exit onto 81.
I believe the
Or
state
shuttle people
irrigation
in.
that prevents us from doing that.
Yeah, because I know
Yes.
you are
Spoke to
right,
someone?
There's
he's,
state
you're
irrigation
right,
there, there's an irrigation.
he's right at that line where it's state, and then it's Fall River, and then it's Rhode Island.
Or shuttle.
But the state engineers, I know at South Coast Marketplace, they've already had issues because of the traffic that backs up onto the highway over there. Their traffic, I remember when they first opened, they also had traffic backing up onto the highway there. So to put an entrance on Route 81 would actually make the problem worse, because you're shortening the amount of cars you can put there before you backed up the ramp onto the highway, if that were the case. I mean, if they have that, you know, that much flow of customers still. So I can just tell, I mean, you can do it, but I don't think the state will let that happen.
Shuttle.
They'll cut the traffic out.
That most definitely is not a feasible option
Yeah.
For us at this point. We do have upwards of 64 customer designated parking spots there, minus OSHA standard for handicap
Well, I
parking.
think the truck things, that's going to be, you know, that's something that has to be resolved. We'll do the left turn only, no right turn. We'll see how that's going to. And now, I'll try to get those installed this week. Tomorrow's going to be a terrible day, it's supposed to be downpour, so it's not
We've
going to happen
already got the
tomorrow.
dead end signs there, right?
We got all of that in.
If members of the community could help me identify the 18-wheelers, that'd be
Yeah.
that'd
Well,
be
they'll
great.
let you
That'd
know.
help
We
me.
have photos.
You know, that would help me. If you can share
Okay.
that, maybe share that with me today. That'd be
Any
great.
other traffic issues?
Question for Sergeant Dolan and Officer Barboza. When you guys were there that weekend, what was your take on the whole situation? You guys saw what we've been talking about, right?
Honestly, I think we saw 4 or 5 cars that actually went down your street and turned around.
I'm talking about just the traffic in general.
It was handleable. It wasn't off the charts. Let me, if this was a Burger King or a McDonald's, would everybody be so outraged over it?
Yes.
Would it be that close to a residence?
A Burger King and a McDonald's, and there's one down the street from me, and it's surrounded with houses around. So they
Still-
put it,
Yeah, it's still kind of far from properties.
Would, Northeast Alternative, if the town's big issue with traffic, would they be willing to supply a detail for traffic?
I have, so throughout the summer, we pre-scheduled traffic details all weekend long. I actually have a traffic detail hired for tomorrow, 5 to 9, just to try to set the tone in case we have kids trick-or-treating down on Commerce. So we do have a working relationship with the police department and routinely schedule details. Once the last summer holidays came through, I do feel that we no longer need the details at the moment. And it will be on an as-is-needed basis moving forward until the summer comes again. And most definitely we'll just pre-schedule for the entire summer, every weekend. I think that worked out very well for us and for the police department this summer. Certainly intend to do it again. Certainly intend to do it again. People have to keep in mind too, January, Northeast Alternatives was licensed to sell recreational marijuana. So this was our first time experiencing the customer base for the 4th of July. And it's going to be our first holiday season that approaches. I am very mindful of that and what impact it may or may not have on the community. Myself, I do put some thought into traffic details and other mechanisms as far as staffing inside the retail store and how that can help turn a customer around to prevent choke-ups and such and any impact. So there are many moving parts to this, most definitely. The community does have my attention. I'm more than willing to share my personal number with everyone after this meeting, as I have before with some.
I just think,
I'm trying,
I just
truly
think that,
trying to
I'm
be
sorry.
mindful of the community. I am.
I think there's something more, maybe, Northeast Alternatives can do to relieve the traffic so these people can get into their driveways.
What's the solution?
Detail.
As a group, what's the solution? How can I help?
When the police are there,
There's no problem.
less people go down our street. When the police are not there, it's a freak.
Now, I know that as soon as you turn, you have an entrance onto the parking lot.
Actually, exit first, then the entrance.
Because when I was there, you had, one side was coned off, so that cars couldn't, why do you have that? Why can't you
So
have
that
an
cars
entrance?
don't misunderstand the abilities of that entrance. That's a very wide entrance. If we didn't pull off a portion of it, it would kind of be a free flow. Staff would, customers would just direct themselves right in. So it's coned off and then posted, not an entrance, and then we have the entrance posted.
So you have to go down a little further to get into your facility and then come out.
Correct.
You don't want to have it the other, well, to have it the other way won't. it'll
About
be
using
worse.
lines instead of the cones.
Well,
Actually,
you want
lines
cones so
would-
you don't have people come out and go in at the same time. They only want it to be an exit.
It's wide enough that people would try to squeeze in
Yeah.
over there, then you end up with a traffic jam.
They drive over his grass now.
Which grass?
All of them, really, but most of it.
Well, the traffic backup, I mean, we have that on Jefferson. Every day, people from Jefferson call me that they're behind traffic, 15, 20 minutes, they can't get to their house. And there's no solution for that, ever since the charter school built. Same thing with Durfee. I get calls on Ellsbury Street that students are late for BCC because the traffic is horrible. So there are certain things that we can work with, and there are certain things that unfortunately, the only way that that traffic can be alleviated is if we were to make a 2-lane at your facility, and that would be something that the state would have to get involved. So I don't know if it's worth getting in contact with the state representatives.
I'm already contacted Marky and I contacted Joe. I contacted Ed Markey and Joe.
Have they spoken, have you?
I haven't got back.
Okay. Well, I mean, to me, that would help. I mean, they would still get their traffic, but then you wouldn't be behind that traffic. You would have that left lane that, you know, you could continue, you know, on and even turn onto your street without waiting. That's the only thing that I can see, you know.
What would you think about that
Do you
sign?
have a suggestion?
Barbosa, what do you think?
Jared, I have a question for you. I was there Saturday and Sunday about a month ago. Noticing that the people coming off of Canning Boulevard, turning onto Commonwealth Avenue, and having your exit where it is currently now. Could we try, just to see how the traffic pattern is going to work, use that front driveway as an entrance only? Just reverse your traffic pattern. Have them come in there, go buy their product, come out, drive around back. When people are coming out of that entrance, they need to wait for someone to say, okay, you can go. And it's backing up traffic, creating a traffic jam. I don't know if that's the answer to it, but having people just maybe coming in that way, driving around the building, they get to that, what you have now as your entrance, as an exit, they don't have to wait for someone to give them the go-ahead to cross in front of their path, because now reversing it, there's no one going to be there. They can just make their left and exit out. I don't know if that's an answer. Is that something we can try?
So, it's actually, we've tried that before. We've actually we opened up with that originally as an entrance. We do have some designated parking spots there for our medical patients. Yeah. Okay. So we were trying to accommodate them, give a medical entrance. That was one idea, and see if that would alleviate the flow from these kind of diverted medical patients versus a recreational customer. What ends up happening, because of the dynamic layout of that parking lot, cars trying to back out the entrance, it's smoother to have the vehicles enter by the rear. It forces them into a single line, okay? If we enter through if we reverse the entrance and exit as you suggest, because it's so wide, we get pandemonium almost. People aren't sure what side of the driveway to go. So it's actually much safer to enter through the rear, given that that will funnel a customer into a single lane, and the single lane is easily controlled to direct them to vacant spots. Does that fully make sense to you?
I think when you did first do that, I was watching it too, and you ended up with a big backup of cars trying to get back out onto William S. Canning Boulevard, because your end was almost too efficient, where William S. Canning Boulevard, those people weren't getting the opportunity to get out.
That's most definitely something that we have already put into works. Given what I've seen since May or so, this is the most efficient way to turn a car in, turn a car out, and to not have any accidents or confusion inside the lot itself.
When they have the cars coming out the back way, like you just said, it backs up at the stop sign. I can't get in or out of my driveway.
But now you're talking half the city of Fall River.
But no one
I know, I live on a dead-end street, and I have traffic all day long turning off at Bay Street, coming down my dead-end street, turning around, going back out, turning in my driveway. This is an issue that we have all over the city. It's a public street. People are going to turn thinking there's an outlet, and when they get to the end of the cul-de-sac, they're like, damn, I'm stuck. I got to turn around and get out. It's going to happen.
Are there no outlet signs posted there?
Any what?
Yeah, there are signs that it's a dead-end street.
It's no trucks allowed, dead-end street, and then I'm gonna do the left turn only.
I think the left turn only, that's only going to give us more clarity to customers leaving and
It's
help
more of a
direct them
guidance, letting them know
down,
that.
you know,
Right.
versus having to go down Commerce, turn around, and one of the community members' driveways ultimately.
Jared, on your busiest day, how many customers can you serve?
On our busiest day,
Roughly how many customers can you serve?
1,200, that's from open to close.
1,200 customers.
We have seen,
So if you did,
1,200
an average
customers.
of how many cars a day that would be, right? You guys are open from X to X. If you went back to your so-called application that you guys tried in the first week that you were open, you still have the same amount of hours in a day, you should still be able to process that many customers a day, but it would be more controlled. And maybe you could eliminate the traffic problem.
By a point.
Just like, yeah.
I can touch upon that.
That's
What
a lot of cars.
What the community is referring to is an app software that we had initially tried to implement where we page the customer or the medical patient to the facility. And the idea behind that is that it lets us set the pace to who is entering and exiting the retail store. Unfortunately, human error plays in with that, and we kind of had, we page, as the app, which is considered virtual line, suggested, the customers are still trying to come onto the property without being paged. And now what that creates is a customer waiting, because they'd rather not drive back home, to be paged. And now we've exhausted our spots. So that technology just was not the best mechanism for us. We've been more successful with adding express checkouts inside the retail store, as well as providing a full complement of staff, attending staff, to be able to turn the customer around. And in doing so, yes, we do see, 1,200, that's on a busy day, we do see 1,200 customers enter the store. The way we've staffed the facility, we also have a very steady customer base from open to close. We don't necessarily have rushed hours. It does pick up after 4, and weekends, afternoons, summer days, it was most certainly busy. We do have a very steady flow of customers that are from open to close, right at open, actually.
Well, I think your goal is you need to notify whether you want to get the name of the trucks or pictures or whatever.
Yes.
I think that needs to be done as soon as possible. So those large vehicles, I mean, we worked on getting the trucks not going to the fire hydrant, so that has helped a little. I think that's the next thing, is getting rid of those tractor trailers, getting parking in the middle, they're long. I will be putting up the signs.
Yeah, I think we're out of ideas for
I have one more question
signs.
though. How many staff members do you have working for you during the day on shifts to deal with those 1,200 people?
Yeah, but that's not traffic related, so. I
Yeah,
mean,
but maybe if you have more staff, maybe
Well,
things can move quicker?
I was thinking in terms of a shuttle.
Just asking a question.
The turnaround time's pretty
We've
quick
been
from these
asking, yeah,
standards.
shuttle.
9
Yeah.
minutes, start to finish. 7.
I was thinking in terms of a shuttle
Like they
Which is
do
fairly
away.
impressive.
to eliminate the traffic.
The answer
you
to
have
that
a
question is we
suggestion?
do have 14 terminals.
9 minutes from start to
Retail
finish?
store.
I time cars in front of my house before I see them, when I see them, I time them, by the time they leave, it's an hour and a
No,
half.
the 7 to 9 minutes that I just stated, that's my numbers from when a customer enters the line to a customer exits the door. That doesn't include.
Doesn't include the whole
yeah,
line
that
that's out
doesn't-
front.
That doesn't
the
include,
traffic that's waiting
how
to
long
get
they
in.
wait in their vehicle to enter or to exit. Yeah.
And there are rush hours that happen.
Sure, most definitely. It's just like any retail business. I think the point I was just trying to make is that you guys are experiencing customers and foot traffic steadily during operating hours. That's more of what I was trying to express.
What percentage of that building is retail?
Sure.
Did you plan,
But in response-
you folks are gonna talk after the meeting, I believe, right?
I have, just one more question, and this just might be a recommendation. I do have to call you again, Laura, because I need some more of that information that you were giving me last time. I misplaced it because it's an obligation. So it looks like from the rest of the public safety and nuisance issues that are not caused by traffic, we have the Cannabis Commission and the Planning Committee of Fall River to go to. Who do we go to from here? Now that
You
we've
can go-
exhausted,
you-
we
you-
seem to be exhausting traffic.
You can request a public safety meeting, and at the public safety meeting, discuss some of the issues, not related to traffic, but related to safety, public safety on that street. So that's something that we touched base a little bit on it. So that's something that's a route you can go to.
So those are the public nuisances, the smells,
Right,
the noise,
right. right? Yeah.
But I'd recommend the city council meeting at the citizen input.
Yeah, but-
Fan had something too.
Yeah, but if you-
When you're done.
But if
City
you-
council.
But if you do it through the Public Safety Committee, they have a committee with members who can guide you and see what, you know.
I'll check if there's a meeting not scheduled, like with a food resolution to schedule. The only thing that's gonna be traffic that way is someone getting another recreational license in the city. Other than that, you're not gonna see.
But until then, what do we do to relieve
They're
these
the only
traffic?
show in town right now, everyone's going there, but they're the only show in town. Once we get 2 or 3 more licenses, and that's it, traffic will be moving again.
There are other marijuana dispensaries with less parking that don't have these traffic issues. There's a solution to the problem.
This is the only recreational one.
Yeah, this is the only one that's recreational.
Wareham doesn't have a problem. Wareham doesn't have a traffic problem.
They
Their
shuttle.
facility is a lot smaller.
A lot of people are not gonna drive to Wareham, they work for the population.
I get that, but
If we had another 2 or 3 licenses of recreation in the city, we would get this traffic episode again. And that's the solution.
So then we have to address all the public uses and public safety issues we have. And this isn't the place to do it.
One
No,
more
here-
question regarding traffic, if I may. Would you object to a shuttle? Just to
Yeah,
relieve the traffic until.
It's just not a
other
feasible
facilities
option. It's just not a feasible option at the moment.
Why?
There's no secureable lots, and quite frankly, 60, I believe it's safe to say 64 to 68 customer designated spots. That excludes employee parking and excludes handicap parking that we have on site.
For
We
1,200
run
customers.
the size of our lot in comparison to other operators licensed for recreational and medical in the state. You're going to find that we have the biggest parking lot going right now. That may not be true now with the opening of Solar Therapeutics. They do have a very large lot as well. There were traffic studies done, and when engineering this lot, like I had said, the facility is prepared to accommodate its customer base at the moment. You know, we are
Traffic study
experiencing,
was for the
we're
liquor store.
experiencing traffic,
Traffic
most definitely.
But just know for the record, we're trying to work with you.
Sure,
not
sure,
against you.
yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, a shuttle, you would have to find
Off-site parking.
off-site parking. It wouldn't be in his.
Right.
So, and how far,
Secure
Well,
off-site.
you know,
down
But
the
how
street,
far-
I think
down the
more
street,
importantly-
there's some businesses that are not occupied at the moment in Burlington co-factory parking lot.
Yeah, but they might not want that. All those businesses might not want
But
that.
you have bus companies that go on bus trips. Their cars are parked in that lot.
You're
while the
talking
buses-
about, well, you're talking about maybe 25, I mean, I go on bus trips and there's probably,
But
we do
would
it
be
in
a
Somerset,
turnaround. It
yeah.
would be a turnaround.
I mean, that's up to whoever owns that parking lot, if they allow that.
Most of the traffic concerns that they can address, they're already addressed. What we're talking about now and what he's talking about could come up in the public safety meeting. So all concerns, it's just not public safety as far as owners and everything, it's everything. It'll deal with, and we can have the conversation about shuttle buses in that meeting. But for what they're doing today, I think suffice, and I think before them going further, we have to do it in the public safety meeting with Council Chambers. And I'll help you with that, I'm joking about it, so much.
Thank you, Council.
I think the officers are right. What they've
Can we
done,
kind of like close it with him making sure he does the truck
they're
part?
the next level.
Yeah, that's the only, you're gonna make sure that these commercial
I'd have to
vehicles,
meet with whoever's willing to meet with me.
and they'll supply you with names of the trucks of anybody that doesn't adhere
Because they'll
anymore.
contact me if it continues, and then we'll have to come back.
And we'll just keep calling the police. We'll get along.
That's what we're there
I
for.
think you have a bunch of
Which
good
one's
ones in
speed
your
dial?
neighborhood, so you better work
No,
together
no,
with these
no.
people. No, they're protecting their investments, so you guys have to connect somehow.
I'm sure you understand their frustration.
Oh, absolutely, hands down.
Because if
Absolutely.
you were living in that section, you're probably
Absolutely.
feeling the same way as they are.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's it for our discussion about Commonwealth Avenue. Do we have any other issues to discuss? What about the proposal for the no parking between signs? Is
We
that
need
something?
to, yeah, if it's an agreement, we need to do a motion to approve it.
Now, we have to wait for the next meeting to put that on the agenda though, correct?
No, we can do it this one.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Thank you.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that will carry. We'll put the no parking between signs.
Yeah, and you're gonna see my guys go down there, they'll measure it, we'll do like the whole length of that white fence, and then,
What about the left turn only?
that doesn't need to go into ordinance, that's just the
Okay.
state law, so we'll just
That'll be
put,
up soon.
yeah, hopefully maybe, as long as, I know tomorrow's gonna be torrential rain, so probably Friday.
Okay, any other business?
Motion to
We
adjourn.
did the rescind, so we're done.
There's a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay, this meeting's adjourned.